Happy New Year to you. Happy New Year to you. So, welcome to the final episode of Sunday Night Alive for this amazing year of 2023 as we come together to kick off 2024. So, if you're here, please say hello. I want to know who I'm celebrating tonight with. You are my New Year's party. So say hey. This is My name is Reverend Denise Schubert. This is Sunday Night Alive. I am the founder and director of A Life of Spiritual Power, which is my way of ushering in the raising of consciousness on this planet and meeting people and joining together in like-minded camaraderie. And so I am very, very happy to be here with you on this final day of this year, 2023. I don't know about you, but every year that passes, I am like, wow, I made it another year. Wow, I made it another year. So I'm very happy to be here. Hi, Brian and Jim. Appreciate seeing you. This is by far, I think, one of my favorite holidays of the year, even over Christmas, Thanksgiving, Easter, 4th of July, and Halloween, because it is an amazing opportunity to step into spiritual practice. It's an amazing opportunity to check in with ourselves, to see, to count our blessings, to learn what we've learned this year, to expand and grow and evolve, and just to really be reflective. So I am always happy to talk about really what it means to complete one experience and to step into a new experience. I'm actually very, very masterful at doing that. Hi Carol, I've been reinventing myself for many, many years, since the age of 45, new incarnations almost every year, maybe in a way, hi Les, maybe in a way not normal, not normal. Most people don't actually probably jump around as much as I do, but I do it for you. I do it for myself, and I do it for you, and I do it for the experience of doing it. So in order to really talk about it and experience what it means to live on the green growing edge of your own evolution. So I'm going to pray us in, but tonight I want to talk about um, in a new way about New Year's resolutions. I want to talk in a new way about what it means to create your next step uh, as free as you can from your past, and also what it means to complete. What does it mean to live in a persistent state of completion? Very, very important, because I think that at the end of our life, you don't want too many things undone. You don't want too many things not said. You don't want too many experiences not experienced. That we are here to. Hi, Janelle. We are actually here to live happy, fulfilled, meaningful lives. We're not here to suffer or just get by or just survive or just play by the rules. That's really not the divine intention for your incarnation. And when I say divine intention, I'm not really talking about a God somewhere on a cloud. I'm really talking about your intention, that you did incarnate, you did choose to incarnate, and that incarnation has a purpose, whether you're aware of it consciously or not. It is present. So I am on the side of and in favor of and a champion of moving past limiting thoughts and beliefs and moving into bodacious declarations of what is possible for me. And I want that also to come forward for you as a possibility. And we do this, by the way, we do this not just for ourselves. I mean, I there is no, it is not a crime or a sin to be a happy person. And it's also spiritually relevant, because happy people create environments around them that are happy, and then those people create environments around them that are happy. And the more of us that can actually demonstrate the possibility of fulfillment, we raise the consciousness for everyone on the planet. So, welcome to Sunday Night Live. I am happy to having my party with you, more than you can possibly know. Today, I completed my assignment at Unity of Naples, so I am a free agent, and I'm very excited about doing that. So I'm going to be focusing more on online teaching and streaming and Zooming and experiences. So I, this is a wonderful, wonderful way to reach people that normally I wouldn't be able to reach, of course. And I like it because I'm at home. My makeup's on. I've had a cup of coffee. It's really quite pleasant. All right, so let me pray us in, and we will take a deep dive into completion and creation, which is our charge for New Year's Eve. So I don't know what you were doing before you joined me, and I don't know what you're going to be doing after you leave me. But for now, let us bless this time, which is to call it sacred. When I was in my 20s, this was a drinking night. When I was in my 30s, it was a sleeping night. Well, maybe not in my 30s. Maybe that didn't happen until my 40s, right? And then in ministry, it's always been a burning bowl ceremony at church night. But what it is as is every moment, it's actually a sacred moment. And so just take a breath with me, leaning into your experience of being, not so much doing, but being, knowing in this moment that you are perfect, regardless of what you think you are, regardless of who thinks you're not, that you are whole, perfect, and complete. And completion is a spiritual practice. And so I embrace that tonight. And just simply know that we are here by divine appointment, that something has drawn us to spend this hour together. And so I call it good. I claim for each one of us that we get something out of it, something deep, not something superficial or meaningless, but something meaningful, something important that allows us to step into this next year with ease and grace and confidence. And so for all of this and more, we do give thanks. We let it be. And so it is. Amen. So I don't know if anyone, I probably don't have anyone here from Naples with me tonight because they're doing the burning bowl ceremony at 6 o'clock. So they're somewhere else. But I talked today at church about really creating our next step, whatever that next step might be. In this case, I'm talking about a whole year, but it could be your next minute. It doesn't really, the principle's the same, whether we're talking about a year, tomorrow, next month, or whenever the next minute might be. But it's very, very common to look at our future through the lens of the past, which means that we can't really create the future from a space of no limits and unlimited possibilities, because we're being influenced by what we've succeeded and failed at in the past, always. So it's an art, really, to declare the past complete, to get it to as complete as you can get it, so that the next move you make can be made from a space of no limitations and a space of optimal faith, hope, and trust, and surrender um, into a new possibility. One of my favorite quotes is, "Possibility is not real at its origin. It's something we create as real and then stand for So I likened this today in my talk. I talked about how an artist, and you'll all get this, it's a very practical idea, that an artist never paints a picture on top of another picture, right? They're not going to take an existing picture and paint something else on top of it. Doing that will confuse both pictures, will not be attractive or pleasing, and it would just be a very silly thing to do. So what the artist does is they get a blank canvas and they paint something on it. And when they're done, there is some moment when they must declare that piece of art complete, that they are happy with it or unhappy with it. They're going to sell it, they're going to keep it, they're going to store it, they're going to throw it. Whatever it is, it must be declared as complete for them. And then the next move is to bring out a blank canvas and to paint a new picture based on some inner inspiration, desire, or longing. So we want to actually, that's really what I want to presence for us on New Year's Eve before we get into next year. So completion, I'm going to give you the definition. So to be incomplete is to be in the state of lacking something or having failed to complete something. Now, it is really normal for us to primarily, as human beings with egos, to live in a state of incompletion, which means we're not done musing, thinking, fretting, replaying in our minds, like something's not complete. And this, for most of us, can be something from today. It can be something from many, many, many years ago. It can also actually be from something not even in our lifetime. It could be a cultural thing. I remember one year in my 30s being in Los Angeles and going to a New Year's Eve event where Marianne Williamson, the author, all of you know Marianne Williamson, she did a major completion between men and women. And literally, I mean, 1,000 people in this auditorium, and she did this exercise where men could get complete with women and women could get complete with men. And it was so touching and moving and authentic. So it's kind of like that. It's kind of like tonight, you have an opportunity to look and see what is incomplete for you. Is it an old relationship? Is it a job? Is it a job where you left or got fired? It could be an argument. It could be an ancient argument in a family with a sibling or a parent or somebody alive or somebody dead. But what incompletion always does is suck your energy. So to the degree that you are feeling like you're not done with something or you failed with something, you can't possibly approach your life with a blank canvas. It's just not possible because you're over here. You're then instead trying to live on top of something else. There's a something there that makes creating out of nothing into tomorrow quite challenging. Now, most of us, I hope should have a pencil, because I want you to be thinking about, I want you to be really doing the work where you are. Now, you are by yourselves. Nobody's judging you, or you don't have to reveal yourself to me or to each other. But it would be useful to see if you can identify uh, conditions or circumstances from what I'm saying that may be eating up your spiritual energy and eating up your capacity to be as glowing as you can possibly be, or as outrageously bodacious as you can possibly be. Incompletions, Werner Erhard, who founded the Landmark Forum, said, anything that you can let be can let you be. And anything you cannot let be will not let you be. And so I love that, because letting something be is how you deal with incompletions. Normally, we think that in order to get complete with something, we need to make an apology, or somebody needs to make an apology to us, or the world needs to change, or your parents need to change their ways, or your partner. So we keep waiting for something on the outside to warrant our forgiveness, or warrant our acceptance, or warrant our allowing. And I just want to say to you that being complete is a declaration. It's something you just do from deep within inside your soul. It's like an artist with their painting. You just call it complete. Do you know, are any of you artists? Because if you are, you know what I'm talking about. So when you're doing a painting, you could spend your whole life on that painting, right? Because it has to be perfect. But at some moment, in order to move on, you need to say, this work of art is done. I've done the best I can do. I've got nothing left in me to add to it. I'm going to call it done. I want you to call something done tonight. Something, preferably something really big, something you hold yourself, you've been holding your soul ransom, which has prevented you from moving forward. Now, that's a little heavy, but it's also, I think, the important work of tonight. It's also, you can do lighter work tonight. I think it's a wonderful opportunity to review the year. Like, what did you love? What didn't you love? What was painful? What were your sorrows? What were your joys? What were your excitements? What were your regrets? Because being a human being living in this world, we have them. And we're not going to get out of, really, no matter how spiritual you get, we no matter how spiritual you get, you will still be who you are. You will still be a little neurotic, and you will still say things and do things that spontaneously come out of your actions and your mouth that you may wish you didn't. And we're still going to have joys and sorrows. It's how we evolve. We evolve. It's Abraham Hicks who said the purpose of life is joy, growth. I can't remember the third one. Well, it doesn't matter. But the point being is the purpose of this life ultimately is the growth of your spirit or the growth of your soul. And it's an eternal process, meaning it is not necessarily meaning in time, but in perpetuity. We are always growing. So use tonight to really make the year not just a year of human doingness, but also beingness. I shared today also in church. I wanted to answer. So today was my last day. So I wanted to answer the question for people of why on God's green earth would anybody go to Africa 12 times or 13 times? Like, what kind of crazy person, what kind of obsessive compulsive person does that? I do. But I shared with them that it's not about Africa per se, because not every moment spent in Africa has been pleasurable, but it's about what happens to me in Africa spiritually. And I want to tell you that the most important thing is when I'm there, and especially when I'm on safari. So when I'm in a truck and we're driving around the bush with with my giraffe in the background, or real elephants or real lions, it was the first time I ever experienced nothingness. Like, my life up until that first stepping on African soil in 2014 had so much been about accomplishment, getting it right, being well thought of, being well regarded, doing the right thing. I had already been a minister for 14 years, so my life was already pretty much involved in spiritual activities. But this experience of nothingness absolutely rocked my world, because it took me into an awareness of the circle of life as perfection. Like, when you observe nature, and this is true anywhere, you don't have to go to Africa to do this, you can find this anywhere you are, but when you observe nature, you realize that these animals, the animal kingdom, the plant kingdom, they're not, we as human beings, I'll share with this in a moment, we're unique in the universe of life because we're conscious beings. But when you are present to the animal kingdom, it's exactly as it should be. Everything's doing exactly what it's supposed to be doing. There is no ego involved. There's no winning or losing or fighting. And it may look like that's what's going on, but that's not what's going on. What's going on is nature. What's going on is natural. It's like we eat, and in many ways, you and I are just like the elephant. We are living forms. We consume food, we eliminate food, we procreate, we fight, we sleep, we do all of those things. But we are not elephants. We are human beings. And I think I shared this a week or so ago, but Sadhguru, the author of Inner Engineering, a wonderful Indian man, he said that to eat, sleep, reproduce, and die is a waste of the body. For this, you could have been any creature, because any creature eats, sleeps, reproduces, and dies. That's what all life does. But he says this is a sophisticated form and comes with a different possibility. And it's because we have the capacity and the God-given gift to declare out of nothing something. We can decide, we can choose, we can act, we operate in such a way. I think, I can't remember who it was, but something said a little bit right below angels. uh, Dr. Joe DiMaggio says the stone and the tiger have no choice in life. The stone must gravitate and the tiger must pounce. Only human beings are faced with the mind-boggling responsibility of having, at each and every moment in their lives, uh, the power to choose what to do and what to be. So that's kind of where we are on this holiday. We're choosing what to do and what to be in 2024. And I want us to be able to do that. I want to give you a tool to be able to do that without the burden of incompletions in your life. Now, I hope you get what I'm saying. I can't really tell because I'm talking and not talking to you. Uh, but this getting complete is very important. I like to think that on my deathbed, I will be 100% complete. That I will have no regret. I will have nothing unsaid. Everyone I love will know that I love them. That I will be happy. I will be, what's the right word? I will be at peace with all of the choices I made. I will have made amends to all of the people I harmed, whether not in person necessarily, but at least in my being, because we all know that we've harmed people out of our ignorance, and that what will be left is nothing but pure joy. Now, completion, so incomplete is a state of lacking something. Completion makes something whole and perfect. So to live in a state of completion is to live in a state of wholeness, which you are whole. You are not broken. Nothing's missing. None of the. You are exactly as God made you. Now we don't really know that, but I'm telling you, so that we can embrace that. So to paint on top of a painting is to try to create something out of something. To create, what we normally do with. Here's our normal New Year's resolutions. Our normal resolutions are desires or things we want within a limited field of possibility based on past performance and evidence. Now, I don't know about you, but I probably had lose 5 pounds on my New Year's resolutions for 40 years. Right? Lose 5 pounds, lose 5 pounds, make more money, have better relationships, exercise. Oh, that's a big one, exercise. But the potential, the possibility that that kind of New Year's resolution brings is meager compared to what's possible for you and I as outrageously powerful, expressive human beings, spiritual beings, emanations, unique and individualized expressions of God, that we live in a field of unlimited possibilities. In God, all things are possible. In God, all things are possible. And I'm not talking about in a man on a cloud. I'm talking about in the way that this universe works. In this universe, There is nothing impossible for us, because the way that it works is we are creators. We declare, we announce, we proclaim. Possibility is not real at its origin. It's something we create as real and then stand for. So rather than have your New Year's resolutions be specific, and by specific I mean losing 5 pounds, getting a new car, finding a new job, getting divorced, getting married, whatever that is. All of that is great. I'm not saying don't do those things. I think you should make a list of everything you want to accomplish, because the more clear you are and the more direct you are, the better your chances of accomplishing it. But I want to go deeper, because you can only request something from the universe. You can only create an intention based on the limitations that your past allows you to do, until you don't. So we're working on the don't right now. So most people would ask for much less than is possible, because you're going to weigh your past performance to see, and your past experience of your worthiness, your past experience of whether or not you think you can or should have what you want. I don't want you to do that. I want us to create a bigger idea. Now, you have heard me talk about context and content. I'm going to bring it up again for just a minute, so that we can really grind in, so we can explore further. So context is the overarching idea, and content is what can flow from that idea. So it's not hard. If you say life is hard for me, that's a context. If you say life is easy for me, that's a context. If you say I get everything I pray for, that's a context. If you say, and I'm not talking about what you say, I'm talking your deeply held underlying beliefs, right? That you're not worthy of what you want, you're not capable of getting what you want, you don't deserve what you want because of what you've done in the past. You all know what I'm talking about? All of that has a limiting influence over what you will allow into your experience and into your life. So I want us to back off of that tonight, so that you can create a viable context for 2024, out of which wondrous things can happen, miraculous things can happen, unexpected things can happen. So here's what I want you to do. So you are Brian and Carol and Les and Janelle. You are these human beings who got born into a family and raised up in whatever mindset you got raised up in. And that is all true. We're not going to negate any of that. But I want to ask you to look and see this year from a spiritual perspective, not from a human one, but from your spirit, your soul, that deepest part of you, the part you may have never shared with anyone, that the part that's embarrassing, right? The part that is so unappreciated in our world. But I want you to look and see, like, how could 2023 have been a more spiritually satisfying experience? Like, what was missing for you? And when I say that, I'm not really talking about a new red car. I'm really talking about happiness, or peace of mind, or fun, or self-care. Like something like, as a evolving spiritual being, what do you want? What do you want? Now, see if you can find a word. And for some of you, it may be obvious, and it is obvious. You want to share it, please type it in. You don't have to, but if you want to, you can. I'm going to tell you what mine is for this year, and it actually, I've been doing this for a while, so it came up for me at the Levi Christ concert a few weeks ago. And it came out of a really spiritual moment I had with him while he was there, because I met him in 2012. And we've just both come so far. And I was just moved and touched a little bit by our relationship. And the word that came up for me is wonder. And so I have created a context. I have created an ask of the universe that I want 2024 to be a year of wonder for me. I want to live my 73rd year on the planet in a state of wonder. Now, do I know? So this is a possibility. Possibility is not real at its origin. Do I know what that will look like in 2024? I really don't. Do I need to know? I really don't. Why? Is because the same power that created a giraffe that can grow a baby, I'll come back to that, to raise a sunset, to create artichokes and avocados, whatever, knows how to do what you say. So whatever it is, in my year of wonder, wonder can show up in more ways than I can possibly imagine, because I can't imagine wonder. I can't itemize wonder. See, we think we can itemize our happiness. Dear God, I will be happy if I get a new red car. Well, God knows that you're going to be way happier if you get that new white one, right? That new Tesla, or that new uh, that that divine right transportation that you can't even fathom yourself getting because of all your limiting thoughts. You don't have the money, you don't deserve a car, you're pro-American, whatever it is. God will give you more and better of anything you can imagine. So if you can create an idea that gives God lots of wiggle room, right? Don't outline, don't try to figure out what you deserve, because your ego doesn't think you deserve anything. So I want you to create a context tonight for 2024. More than one, by the way, you don't have to have one. I just want you to get the idea tonight, and then you can play with it. So the first step is to get complete. Really, just see if you can let the past be so that it can let you be. Try not to paint on top of another painting, right? Um, try not to paint on top of something that's already painted. You want to have your life be a fresh canvas, and you want to go into 2024 with an intention, which is what I'm talking about. You want to declare a life of wonder, declare a life of adventure, declare a life of prosperity, declare a life of more love than you can ever imagine, declare a life of creativity. These are soul attributes, not human attributes. And then what happens on the human level is things begin to show up that support your commitment to the context you have called forth. I don't think I have the reading I did today, but in Marianne Williamson's Everyday Grace, she did this beautiful thing about the um, God, your magic wand. So your magic wand is is your awareness of spiritual power, your awareness of spiritual principles, and your ability to use them. And so, the fairy godmother, she commented in this book, she says, it's one thing to describe how you're going to turn a pumpkin into a carriage, and it's a very different thing to actually do it. So we want to be doing it this year, not just talking about doing it or wishing we had these things. You want to do it. You want to prove the principle that we are powerful creative beings and that we are not bound by the past, no matter how complicated, challenging, or hard that past is. not even how complicated or challenging the present might be. I know a lot of people moving through a lot of difficult circumstances. And though we have to find strategies for self-care, prayer, meditation, love, family, community to help us get through those times, because as human beings they are going to happen. That, and I don't know anybody whose life is not affected by sorrow or grief. You know, I mean, um, I think in all, I think in truth, this year's been even a little challenging for me. It's been hard, but the next couple of years for everyone's been hard. But I declare the high road, and it does have a payoff to do that, because the universe says yes to whatever you say. So, so New Year's, this is a very wonderful opportunity to assess your life, to assess if it's what you want it to be, and if it's not exactly, if you know that there's some divine discontent or some soul's desire that has not been fulfilled, declare it. Just declare it for 2024. Say yes to it. Be willing to receive it, because 2024 can be, and I assert will be, the best year in your entire life. All right, so that's my New Year's gift to you. So completion, living in a state of completion, which, by the way, isn't a New Year's thing. It's an every night thing. It's an everyday thing. It's at the end of your day. I remember listening to somebody do a lecture at a conference, a Jewish rabbi, and he said he said, what would it be like if we could lay our heads down at night feeling satisfied with the day, like not recounting what we didn't do instead of what we did do, and counting where we fell short instead of where we rose up. So you should do that every day. Like, be complete with how the day went. Let it be complete. You know, a useful tool for this is making lists, of course, like writing things down, so that when you're at the end of your day or at the end of your week, whatever, it's a principle, um, that nothing's under a rock, right? That you've just said, I did this, I did not do this. I said I would lose 5 pounds, I only lost 3 pounds. I said I would lose 5 pounds, I lost 8 pounds. I am complete with however it turned out. Now what? Now, what's the next creation? So for me, the next creation, well, I'll share with you. I have a next creation here. I'm going to share what's coming up in my world, which I'm going to invite you into. Last time we were together, oops, not this. I did announce the class. I decided not, I got enough feedback from people that it was too much of a commitment, too much time. So I'm going to do two things. And this may be too late for this little mini workshop, but I'm going to put it out there anyway. If I can get 6 to 8 people, we'll do it. I'm going to do the Kingdoms of Consciousness, which is Michael Beckwith's work on moving from victim consciousness to mystical consciousness. And it's absolutely wonderful and valuable and practical. So I'm going to start that 5 weeks to a true shift, January 11th to February 8th, before I leave for Africa. So it's going to be on Zoom, up close and personal. We get to talk 6 to 7:30 p.m. or Saturday mornings. You can choose either Thursdays or Saturdays for a mere $75. So you can go to my website to register for that. And if you want to do it, please register quickly so I can make a decision. It's my time frame's too tight, but I don't know. Actually, that was foolish. I had my own limiting thinking. Let's go for 10 people. But what I'm really excited about is this one, which I want to invite you to go on a Zoom safari with me for 10 weeks. I'm going to Zoom live from South Africa on Saturday mornings, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. starting January 17th and ending April 6th. So I leave on February 11th and come back on April 11th. 10 weeks on Zoom for $100. So that gives me it's not very much money, but it supports me a little bit while I'm there, and it gives us 10 weeks to not only do a spiritual lesson, but to really share with you the experience of Africa through pictures and videos and the animals at Bush Baby Haven. So those are two opportunities for us to study together. If you go right to my website, deniseschubert.com, everything's on the front page. You just have to click register here. So do that. If you're going to do it soon so I can assess and get excited for myself and for you. And as always, if you wish to support the ministry and Sunday Night Live, which I will continue doing as well while I'm in Africa, the streaming, you can do that through PayPal, Zelle, or Venmo to revdschubert@gmail.com. I always appreciate your support. So, Happy New Year. It has been such a wonderful year. You have all been with me through this year. Really, you're just all with me. I just love you and love our relationship and love that we're on this spiritual journey together. So anything else before I pray you into your evening? I hope you're going to be doing something fun, something meaningful. Meaningful and fun are inside jobs, not outside events. So if you could pour yourself a glass of wine or a cup of hot tea, light a candle, and sit down and write all the things you're willing to be complete about that maybe you haven't been until today. And really the possibility you declare for yourself for 2024. I want you to go for it. You know, Mary Morrissey says, are you on the green growing edge of your own evolution? So what's up for you in 2024 to expand your heart, to open your mind, and to really give you a really satisfying experience of living? Yes. All right. So wonderful. So I am going to pray with you right now. And I always look forward to hearing from you if you ever want to talk to me. Well, I'm kind of a free agent now, so I have lots of time. Though I'm pretty sure this time will be filled up with amazing things. But anytime you want to talk or pray or you need support, just reach out. Email me at revdschubert@gmail.com. Call me on my cell phone. Contact me from my website. I'm always here for you. I'm here until death do us part. So, all right. So take a breath. Take a breath and open yourself to divine inspiration. Open yourself to a new idea, a new way of being. You know, that there is a power and there is a presence in this universe that is not us, and at the same time is us. There is a power and a presence that is surrounding us, but at the same time is within us. And that power and that presence is our magic wand in the manifestation game. That power and that presence is our peace. That power and that presence is our joy, independent of human circumstances. It is an inside job that we get to express outwardly into our life and our circumstances. And so in that awareness, knowing this to be our magic wand, I speak my word for and about you and everyone within the sound of my voice on this glorious 2023 New Year's Eve, this precious moment to lean back into our spiritual identity, our real and true authentic self, to appreciate it, to honor ourselves, to forgive all of our missteps this year, to glorify all of the really good deeds we have done, and to create for ourselves an idea for 2024 that cannot help but manifest glorious, wondrous things. the universe is waiting to go to work on our behalf. And so, in gratitude for the time we spent together tonight, in gratitude for whatever comes next, I just simply release this word, knowing that it has been released into the listening ears of the cosmos, waiting and willing to clothe our words with flesh. And so go for it with all the gusto you have. I look forward to seeing you soon. So we let this word be. And so it is. Amen. So I will be here next Sunday at 6 p.m. starting our new year. And I hope to see some of you in the Four Kingdoms of Consciousness class. And I'd love to see all of you join me in Africa for 10 weeks. So peace and blessings. I'm here. I love you. I will see you soon. Mwah.